After 7 weeks of football, the NFL's bottom dwellers are becoming clear, with teams like the Raiders, Giants, Cardinals, and Bills in contention for the worst record in the league. I'm here with Blake Snetman and Zach to decide which team needs the first pick the most. So, what team do you have?
I'm going to go with a team that's not on your list, and that's the Colts. They're sitting at with 2 wins, down in the bottom. They have a chance for the first pick still. The reason I go with the Colts is because they have the franchise quarterback. Andrew Luck is a proven franchise quarterback. Teams like the Cardinals, Josh Rosen's not proven yet. Eli's on the way out for the Giants. The Colts have Andrew Luck. He's there to stay. Their running game is not bad. Marlon Mack was healthy for the first time this week. Had a big game, 100-plus yards, touchdown. T.Y. Hilton's there to at least 2020. So they have the pieces. The offensive line's a little weak. So I think if they go offensive line,
so right now, you're giving me all the reasons why they don't deserve the #1 overall pick.
But I think they need it the most because I think they're the closest team because they could, if the #1 pick, they could take them to the next level.
Yeah, they could go to the next level, but the real thing here is they're already developed enough to where they really aren't the most deserving of it. For me, I picked the Raiders. They basically have given up a lot of their puzzle pieces to rebuild. I look at them as the St. Louis Rams a few years ago before they made their transition to Los Angeles. Their fans were lacking. Not many people took much into them. Right now, they've given up Amari Cooper with that trade recently with Dallas. They gave up Khalil Mack to Chicago. Apparently, Derek Carr and their pick from 2017, Garyon Conley, they're not going to be traded. Those are 2 pieces they kind of want to build on. But they're definitely on the rebuilding stage, moving to Vegas starting in the 2020 season. I just think they're most deserving of it. They have 3 picks already lined up for them. I think the Colts are, I just don't think they're deserving. Like you said, they have Andrew Luck. Marlon Mack just had a breakout game, first game healthy.
The Raiders definitely need it the most. You can say need it the most, but I think they need more than that because the Raiders division, look at the Chiefs, they're up there. They're not coming down anytime soon. The Chargers are on the rise. They're looking good. The Colts are in a mediocre division right now. Jacksonville's a good team, but they've played pretty mediocre. They have a losing record right now, I believe.
That division is crazy.
Yeah.
All the teams there, they can all compete, but they never live up to expectation. And I think the Colts are the ones that kind of exceeded expectation. I think those 2 wins, I think they played a little better than we expected. And I really do think Marlon Mack will be playing a little better throughout the season. Like I said, he's injured. He was injured. He just had a first game real healthy, and I like what's coming out of there.
I'm a big believer in the Colts. I think they're maybe #1 pick away from potentially contending for a division title next year.
So if the Colts did get the #1 overall pick, where's their biggest need?
I'm going to go offensive line. I know it's not the traditional #1 pick, but the Chiefs did it a few years ago. Eric Fisher turned out pretty well, in my opinion. They definitely need to keep Andrew Luck healthy. Without Andrew Luck, they're nothing.
I just don't think the #1 overall pick should go to an offensive line in their scenario. Like I said before, I don't think they should have the #1 overall pick. I think a top 5, top 10 pick will get them that offensive lineman. A team like the Raiders, they can go for any position. They're not going to be taking an offensive lineman as their very first pick.
But what about other teams? We mentioned other teams earlier, the Cardinals, Bills. What about them? What are you looking at? Let's start with Arizona.
Yeah, so Arizona, I see a lot of problems, a lot of turmoil with them, especially right now. Patrick Peterson has made it known, basically asking anytime he possibly can that he wants out of Arizona. Tyrann Mathieu left in the offseason. That's some of their defense. They just brought in Josh Rosen. They don't really have a true leader that they need, except Larry Fitzgerald, who is getting old, who is just seen tackling his former quarterback, Kurt Warner, on the sidelines. That's the most fun they're getting in Arizona. They just have a lot of problems. I don't know if that #1 pick will do them good enough to kind of fix all their problems, but I think it's a step in the right direction.
All right.
I think the Cardinals are in trouble a little bit. That division's a strong division with the Rams. We've seen them. They've taken off. Josh Rosen hasn't proven himself yet. It's a question mark, but I don't know where it goes. Too many holes to fill.
All right, last team, real quick. Buffalo made the playoffs last year. They're not going to make it this year. What do they need?
I mean, they're throwing Nate Peterman out at quarterback some of these weeks, and he doesn't belong in the NFL, in my opinion. But the quarterback class is weak, so I'm not too sure.
I just think they need consistency. I think there's, like the Cardinals, more turmoil. There's so much turmoil this year. Vontae Davis leaving halftime and retiring. LaShawn McCoy's not playing well. They just need some help.
All right, well, that does it from the Gridiron. But up next, Manny and Brad will be here to discuss Markelle Fultz. You do not want to miss this.